Good morning on this Saturday morning. That's an unusual one, isn't it? Slightly later time at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. So welcome. I was unable to come on live yesterday. My agenda this week has been a little bit higgledy-piggledy. So I wasn't able to come on yesterday morning. So I thought I'd come on this morning instead. Morning, Jackie. And we have a play with the sweet strawberry bundle. Now, as with some of the things that we were playing with on the lives on Tuesday, I haven't actually got round to doing anything with this bundle yet. So this is going to be very much welcome into my craft room and play along with me as I explore this stamp and punch bundle and some of the exciting things that you can get along with it. So let's have a look in the catalogue at the sweet strawberry distinctive. So it's a distinctive stamp set and punch bundle. So as the name would suggest, we're looking at strawberries, and we've got the strawberries, we've got the fruit, we've got the outline and an infill, the little bits on the top. We've got the leaves and the blossoms for the strawberries and some bigger leaves here, some really nice greetings. And then on the punch is going to punch out the fruit, the leaf, the top and the blossom. So some lovely samples in here using, there's a little ladybird sneaked in on that one, using this set, some 3D strawberries there. And just using the blossom on that one, but really pretty. But the really quite exciting thing about this stamp and punch bundle is that I haven't actually got my celebration brochure to the side of me, but one of the items in the celebration brochure is one of the things that you get for a £90 spend. Morning, Joe. If you during celebration, if you spend £90, you get a free item during this January till the end of February, and one of the items you can get is the berry blossom stamp set and importantly the paper that goes with it. So this is this beautiful sort of watercolour wash effect papers. You've got that nice red strawberry spotty effect, the papers with all the strawberries on. You've got blackberries on that one, you've got blueberries on this one, nice sort of basket effect. Got those beautiful strawberries on there. We'll try some of those. I'm sure we'll be able to punch some of those out with that sort of almost tablecloth paper just there, sort of picnicky. And you've got all different sorts of fruits on that one, and then this one has got the leaves on and these beautiful raspberries, I would say they were, because the stamp set that goes with those, you've got the blueberries, you've got the leaves, and you've got these that could be blackberries, they could be raspberries, they could be any of those sort of shape berries that you want them to be. So as I say, that is one of the things that you get free if you have a £90 spend. So what would a £90 spend look like? I was just having a quick add up. What sort of thing could you get for a £90 spend? So if you do like your stamp and punch bundles, if you were to get the sweet strawberry stamp and punch, the hearts and kisses stamp and punch, and the sweet ice cream stamp and punch, that came together to, I'm sure it was £61.50. Let me just, no, £91.50. That would be a bargain, wouldn't it? I'm sure it was £91.50. Yep, those two together are 60. So yeah, those three stamp and punch bundles come to £91.50. If you ordered those three, you would also get that stamp set and that paper. So that would make quite a nice little bundle of things coming through your door, particularly if you're somebody that hasn't got a die cutting machine. You could have all of that and never need to cut a die. Right, but for today we're going to be playing with the strawberries, with the berry blessings. No, we're not. The sweet strawberry. I'm sure the berry blessings will come into it. And our punch. Let's open our punch up. and let's have a play. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, what colour red do we think will be best for our strawberries? So either going to be Real Red or Poppy Parade. I think a Real Red for a strawberry. Yeah, I think this one's perhaps a bit too pinky. We'll go Real Red. Let's see, I'll bring in some Bumblebee. And I think possibly Garden Green as our sort of main colours. Evening, Megan. Thank you for joining us. Morning here, still a bit, the sun's trying to break through, still a bit misty and frosty sort of morning here. So I think today's set to be a fine day. So anybody looking to go out and do their sort of exercise and a bit of a walk around, today would be a good day. If you're looking for me, you'll find me on www.loveaduckie.co.uk. You'll find my host code for this month if you're shopping with me on my website and on my Facebook pages. So always look out for that. It's always worth adding in the host code if you're putting in an order. So let's start with the stamp set. Let's stamp some strawberries. Let's put some ink on this stamp. Now, because we are on a Saturday, there is a good chance that you might hear people wandering around in the background. Mike did say he might perhaps make a cup of tea in a little while. That would be good. So we'd have tea delivery. We don't have that on a Monday and Friday. So let's bring out these strawberries. And I think perhaps some Memento. I'm going to stamp this strawberry outline. And this is its first ever stamp. Sometimes that can be a little bit not quite so clear, but that one has come out beautifully. How many big strawberries shall we have? I think we'll go for 3. Of course, these days you can get strawberries all year round, but they're never quite as nice here as when they are homegrown ones, because obviously they don't need to be packaged and travel across the miles. Right, so let's take our Real Red ink. Now this one I am going to take a little bit of scrap paper and do a test stamp first, just because it's a solid image rather than a outline. Beautiful, and you can see the distinctive stamps there, how you get that shading on it without any effort from me whatsoever. The stamp does the work. So let's line those strawberries up. Look almost good enough to eat. Now, the good news we had here in the UK yesterday on an update was that the new basic white cardstock is now available in our warehouse. I obviously haven't got any yet because unfortunately, even if I had rushed on and ordered some straight away, we are experiencing some delays in orders due to the effects of Brexit. as I think there are delays in all sorts of orders coming through from the continent for all sorts of things. Unfortunately, our Stampin' Up isn't any different. I'm going to line that strawberry up. Oh no, I'm not going to come this way because, and even that is a bit dodgy. Can you see why I'm hesitating? If I stamp that, that's going to stamp punches that, that's going to punch as well. It's going to punch a chunk out of that flower. And even that one is going to punch a chunk out of that strawberry. We should have perhaps just put them a little bit further apart, but now having still, we're going to have to do them all separately. What you can do to get over that problem, of course, is to create a template and to stamp them in the Stamparatus, and I will demonstrate that in a moment. But for now, we'll demonstrate something else. I'm going to take, here I've got some sticky post-it note left over from cutting out some masks on Tuesday. I'm going to create a handle. Oh, let's go the right way, Helen. Dear oh dear. Right, having gone the right way, we've now got a handle to hold that in place. Let's punch that one out. We'll take that bit of post-it note off the back there and use this post-it note to create a handle on this one. And punch that one. Let's take that bit of post-it note off. There we are. That was soon sorted, wasn't it? So there we have 3 beautiful juicy strawberries. Obviously we can give those a bit of a curl and give them a bit of shape to them. You can use your bone folder to do this as well. I'm just running them through my fingers. Hi Angie, good, I'm glad you're liking the videos, that they're keeping you amused. There we are. As long as you never come in expecting polished perfection, you'll be okay. Right, we've got some strawberries. Let's take a piece of Whisper White and let's think about a background. I'm going to cut this down to 9.5 by 13.9. And I'll clean this stamp up, but obviously photopolymer stamp and red ink, it's still going to be stained, but we don't worry about that. It's not going to in any way affect its ability to function. It's just going to be prettier from now on. Let's take some of the leaves. Perfect. And I think we'll stamp that in garden green. Something quite satisfying, isn't there? Sort of stamping strawberries and on a cold and frosty morning. The jigsaw puzzle going on there. Move my strawberries out so I don't stamp on those. I think about strawberries is they could be in a pot, they could be in a hanging basket. Right, so there we have some of those strawberries. I'm just going to bring in a blender pen. And for this background, I'm just going to eke out the colour, drag that colour out in those leaves. Scribble on a bit of this scrap white card. I'm going to bring in some bumblebee. Just going to pick up some bumblebee in my blender pen. Make a pair, absolutely. Yes, Megan, why not? Right, so I've just added some yellow to the middle of those. What I might actually do is just grab something like a Flirty Flamingo watercolour pencil and just add in a touch of pink as well. Bit of a blush of pink coming in there. Watercolour pencils are quite nice for adding little highlights of things. Obviously if we'd have done this on shimmer white we could be watercolouring them all together, but as we're not, we'll just add in a bit of a blush of pink. I can hang some strawberries down in a bit, but we need a bit more life to our strawberries. We've got other things that we can stamp. So we need to be able to attach them to the plant. I beg your pardon, I said Megan had said about pears. It wasn't Megan, it was Angie. Do apologise, Angie. I'm sure Megan was on the ball with that as well. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take some Whisper White card. I don't want the strawberry necessarily. Well, actually, first of all, I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White, a piece of scrap card, and just punch these pieces out like that. And cut that, and I now have a template for my Stamparatus. And then I'm going to have, let's stamp out some more of these bits. I've got two there, two there, two there. Another leaf. Another hull bit. And another blossom. So we've got 3 of each there. Let me grab my Stamparatus. So this is the other way you can do this. If you rather than battling with spacing things out on a piece of card to punch them out, is to create yourself a template like this. And then I will take that stamp for the hull, and I'll put that just there, and I'll take the stamp for the leaf, and I'll take the stamp for the blossom. Oh, not that one, that one. So there is a slightly bigger blossom there than the one that you can punch out. So let's line those up in there and pick those up like that. And then let's come in with our punched out pieces. There's one leaf. Oh, got some red on there from somewhere. That just moved a switch. Is that still? Yes, I moved that. How annoying. Let's put it so that we know where it is exactly. I'm going to put it on that corner just there. And reline up those stamps so that we know if this moves. Let's put that on the opposite corner. That might hold it a little bit more securely. And that one there. Oh, I've just seen that Angie has sent a photo. I will have a look at that in a bit. I'm expecting that's pears. So there's our leaf bits, and there is our blossom. Let's take our garden green, so we'll stamp all of these outline pieces in garden green. Just like that. Let's take the blossom one out because I want to leave that, although we have got an infill stamp for that. So I'm going to turn that round. Let's take our leaf infill. And obviously once we've done this first one, you'd be able to go on and do lots and lots and lots. Oh, what have I done with that? I had that stamp out already. There it is. And our whole one. Ooh. So when you're first setting this up, it can be a bit fiddly. But then you're good to go for lots and lots of stamps and stamping. And obviously new stamps are particularly sticky. So let's ink up the infill colour bits for those. And there's our first lot. Let's turn those round. Doesn't really matter which order you do these in. You could equally have infilled first and then get in there, cheeky monkey. Turn it round, pick it up. stamp. And last but not least, one. And of course you don't, you can hang on to your stencil then, just pop it in your bag or wherever you store your stamp apparatus. And you are good to go for any other occasion that you need to make strawberries galore. Oh no, don't get rid of that one yet, we haven't coloured him in. And you could go on for ever, stamping 100 strawberries, particularly if you were doing some sort of home decor project where you wanted lots and lots, or doing gift tags or invitations to a strawberry tea. Let's put those to one side for a minute. Now you needed lots of strawberries. There, so it's amazing how much of a difference that makes to those strawberries. When you start adding detail, they suddenly really come to life. And we have some bigger leaves for them. And some bigger blossom, as I say, and there is bigger blossom still in there. Ooh, where's that other blossom gone? How rude. It will no doubt come to light in a minute. So let's again take a little bit of bumblebee to add into the centre of these blossoms. Here it is. So just picking up some colour with my blender pen and adding that in. And again, let's take this flirty flamingo. Might even put a little bit of pink on the edges of some of these. There we go. Short, I've just dropped on the floor. Oh, a block. Let's pick that up, else we might be looking for it in a minute. So this is going to start to come together. Quite fun. Let's have a little look at our sentiments in our stamp set. Happy birthday, you sweet thing. Hello there, thank you. That was so sweet of you, just for you. This one has got wishing you the very best, bountiful blessings. You always have a way of making my day. It's rather lovely, isn't it? I think we'll go with the happy birthday one. Let's try picking that up again. I lay it down on my grid new grid paper, or I've got grid on my mat here. Make sure that that's lined up against a line and that the bottom of my block is lined up against a line. Hopefully it will be straight. Morning, Em. Let's ink up that happy birthday. I'm going to bring it down the bottom here because we are going to be adding in strawberries and things in there. Now the other thing I might do, that feels quite sort of starkly white. No, that's not what I want. Balmy blue, that's what I want. I'm going to bring my new blending brush. Add some colour to that. Then I'm just going to come in and tickle around the edges with the blue. I do love these new blending brushes. If you haven't yet had a play and you want to come and join us for a class, we'll be doing one on the 21st of January. I checked that this morning. So if you are local, you can do the class plus have some blending brushes as well. If you already have blending brushes, you can just pay to do the class. And obviously if you're elsewhere in the world, you can just pay to do the class. I will be doing it via Zoom and that will be recorded. So if for any reason you can't be there live, you can have a recording. But beautiful. You can see how that's just taken the stark white around the edge of that. Lovely, lovely. I'm going to grab a baby wipe. I happen to have one here. I'm just going to pick up the excess ink off my mat. Okay. Let's move that out the way for a minute. Let's bring in some... See where my dimensionals gone? They were sitting on the side earlier. So first of all, I'm going to stick these little hull bits to the top of the strawberry. One. Two. Three. Now we can have those hanging down off of our plant. So for us here, that seems a bit strange. For those of you that are in summertime, I'm sure you're well into strawberry season. Perhaps you're never out of strawberry season. Strawberry growing season, anyway. So there's our strawberries on there. Let's bring in some of our bigger leaves. I'll put them up on dimensional so that they look as if they're sort of growing in front. Adding to the depth of it. I think that one I'm going to tuck up just there and have it poking out from behind that strawberry. And then I'm going to transfer to some smaller dimensionals. For this blossom. There, how's that? That's looking like a very laden strawberry bush. Beautiful. Let's bring in our trimmer. And I'm going to cut this to, thank you, cup of tea has arrived. A new ducky mug. I'm not going to tip it up to show you properly because then the tea would all fall out. So we'll cut that to 10 centimetres by 14.4. So thank you to Anita for that ducky mug that I received for Christmas. That was very lovely, thank you. It's been in good use. Had some lovely ducky things. Ducky keyring. Fabulous ducky phone stand. I'm loving that. That's getting good use. A beanie phone stand. So thank you to Jackie for that, and for Bonnie for my gorgeous keyring. I had some really lovely things. There. It's looking quite pretty. We could add ribbon and things in, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I like that as it is. This is just using the stamp set and the punch. We haven't used anything outside of that. Obviously that's going to need a white insert in it for you to write on, so I will do that in a little while. We'll just pop a few sparkly rhinestones on there. Oh no, that one just wants to stick to my finger. These are just little baby ones, so I think we'll go with 5. And I'll put another one they're so little, aren't they, the little ones? There we go. And an added bit of sparkly stuff as well. Really beautiful stamp set. Oh, just love them all. Right, so I think for the next one we will bring in some of the papers and things. let's have a slurp of tea while we consider it. Perfect. I'd say these papers are beautiful. They've sort of got this watercolory effect on them. And I love the sort of the picnicky feel of these ginghams and things. How fun is that one? Blueberries, blackberries, lots more strawberries, and obviously you could create 3D strawberry with these. So 3D strawberry would be really easy to do. You would want to, let me measure that and have a look. The depth of that strawberry is, let's say 4 centimetres would give you quite a nice margin of error without wasting too much paper. There's been lots of calls for this paper to be available after celebration. We want that paper. So I'm just going to punch out one. Might be a bit less wastage if I come this side, possibly. 2. 3. Do we want to go 3 or 4? I'll punch 4 out and we'll decide. And all you want to do is fold these in half. And obviously you could make these as, you could do it with 3, 4, I think we're going to go 4. You can make them as many sided as you like. Simply stick your strawberries together, back to back. Oh, wind, Helen. Obviously you could do this if you'd stamped them onto card as well. But and then this one you're going to need to put some glue on both sides because this one is going to come in. A strawberry spinner card. Yes, Megan, you could have an aperture in the middle, couldn't you? And dangle some thread from the centre of there. You certainly could. Just you're going to need going to punch with a bit of shaded spruce here. Not sure whether we want one on each or whether it needs to be a bit hit and miss. Yeah, I think you're going to want a whole bit on each, aren't you? So let's add that in. One. 2. See how you can really start to have fun with these. What I should have done, and hindsight is a wonderful thing, is I should have put some thread down the middle, but I didn't. I'm going to glue a little bit behind this bit of hole just here. So if I'd have put a bit right down the centre as I was gluing the strawberry together, that might have been, oh, getting that one ready to eat. But I'll pop that in there instead. So it's not going to be perfectly central, but it is going to dangle it. Let's take my little let me grab actually the shaded spruce ink, because I've got shaded spruce card out. I'm going to punch a couple of shaded spruce leaves. I'm going to stamp some both sides, I think. Right, I'll take decisions. I'm going to take this paper here that looks a bit like a tablecloth. Put my 2 leaves to one side. Let's get rid of my bits and pieces for a minute. We're really playing on the hoof here. I hope you really don't think that there's any thought process that went in prior to going live. It really is a play along with Helen morning. I normally have a bit more thought process than I'd had today. Going to go going to go 5. And I'm going to score it at 1. Oh, that was a bit of a hard score. 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 8. And I'm going to cut it at 8.5. So this needs my cutting blade. So it's 8.5 by 5. Oh, I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to score it at 1 there as well. So 8.5 by 5, scored at 1, 4, 5, 8 that way, and scored at 1 along there. Let's just fold it along those score lines, and that score line, let's take my snips I'm going to cut up there and up there, and so I'm cutting up the score lines until it meets the bottom score line. That bit I'm going to cut off. These smaller bits I'm going to give a bit of a wedge out of. So that one and that one. Let's take a slight snip off the top there. Bring that across. Pop those two down. Stick down this bottom. Take my ruler and give that a good press in there. And then I'm going to squeeze that in like that. Run my finger down the side. And there we've got a cute little bag that we're going to be able to hang our strawberry from the top. Let me just dig about and find. Just move everything off the top of my trolley and I should be able to find my crocodile so that I can put some holes in it. I know that Stampin' Up used to sell these a long time ago. I had mine much prior to even having heard about Stampin' Up. Fabulous bit of kit, not cheap, but I must have had mine, I don't know, 15 years or so now. We were using it to put holes in my future daughter-in-law's belt the other day because it was a bit big. To take some of our, this is from the Playful Pets. So obviously I did that bag absolutely on the hoof, and it really is a question of whatever your side panel is, however deep that is, that's how much you need the bottom to be the same depth. So if you wanted a wider bag, we'd have done 2-inch depth there, perhaps in a 2-inch depth there. Obviously if you want it taller, you make it bigger this way. So it is just about deciding what size you need your bag to be and working back from there. Once you've got your head round what that looks like. Right, we've got our leaves to go on here as well. I think we'll just tuck those in, glue them in here. One. And where should we tuck that one in? Two. I'm going to take a little piece of cardstock that is. Let's have a look. What's the widest on there? I think it's an inch, isn't it? Let's take a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is an inch wide, and we will just punch the end of that. Pop a little hole in it. I think we'll go for the smaller hole. I'm going to trim that down in a minute. There was Just For You in there. Let's have that. I'm just wondering, yes, so on this paper that has these strawberries on it, it also has some blossom. So let's pick a blossom. And let's go for that one as well. Now these are just little blossoms from punched out from the paper. I need to put one there. And I'll take a little dimensional and we'll add another one just there. I'm not using those scissors, those are my ribbon scissors. Let's just pop that off of there. For some reason this particular spool of linen thread has come untwisted, so it's sort of almost like it's come into its separate strands. Obviously got a bit obviously the twisting machine was not at its best that day. I'm going to thread that through there. And then actually I'm going to make the most of the fact that this is untwisted and split that in half. Obviously there's no reason why you can't split your thread in half anyway, but for me on this occasion it's much easier because it's already there. And we'll tie that onto that bow. Then we have a little tag, a 3D strawberry on our little bag, so that's quite cute. And we've not even begun to play with blueberries and raspberries and blackberries, but we've been here for an hour playing with all these lovely things. So that is the Sweet Strawberry stamp set and the Strawberry Builder punch. And we've also added in some of the elements from the free papers. And we haven't got round to playing with the stamp set, but we also have the stamp set that's available as a free celebration offer. Free gift if you spend £90 in the catalogue. And as I said at the beginning, if you want all 3 stamp sets with punches, if you want the you fancy the hearts and kisses with that punch, and the ice cream with that punch, as well as the strawberries with that punch, those 3 punch and stamp bundles, if you bought all 3 of those, you could then have the berry blessings and the paper as a free gift. And what a lot of fun you would have with that. So thank you for coming and playing with me this morning. Hopefully all will be back to normal next week, and I will be here on Monday, and I think I'm going to play with the Darling Donkeys on Monday, so do come and join me for some Darling Donkeys on Monday, and I will be back then for some more crafting. And if you haven't had a chance to catch up on videos and things that we did on Tuesday, we had a whole day load. There's 5 sweets worth of videos up there. If you haven't had a chance to catch up on those, then do go back in and look. So thank you for coming to play this morning. They are gorgeous, aren't they, Jackie? Makes us feel almost summery. I feel the need to go and eat a strawberry. I have got some in the fridge. They've not been homegrown from the garden. Obviously, they've been imported from somewhere. But yes, so have a lovely rest of the day, lovely rest of the weekend, and I'll see you all very soon.